2018, my first actual vlog. A lot has happened, so I might be able to tell you all about it. So I might just put some shoes on and put my helmet on and let's go. So, ready to go. And of course, this is actually day number 2. Now you might be asking, why are you talking about day number 2? Well, yesterday I went for a ride. Great video. It was actually quite interesting as well, because I ran into a cousin of mine. Turned out the sound wasn't working. Because it's been that long, I haven't checked my equipment, so I don't actually know what's going on with it. Now, yesterday I talked about chicken strips. I was going to see how long it would take to get them off. It looks like they're still on there, so we'll see how that goes today. And I decided to try something a little bit different. So you can see this device here in front of me. That is a gimbal. So a gimbal is this thing here. Now it's a bit of a contraption what I've made. Trying to make it a little bit more sturdy because it's attached at the bottom, which means it's bouncing around a lot at the top and it's top heavy. So the idea of a gimbal is to stabilize your videos. In the past I've had lots of jumpy footage to the point where you can't really do much with it. You either don't have any footage at all or it's really cut up just to the bits where it looks slightly smooth, and this device will help a lot with that, so I'll show you in a minute. And as you can see, I've got a GoPro on the helmet and also a GoPro in the gimbal, so I've got 2 cameras now rather than 1. I was using a phone before and that was alright, but I think having 2 GoPros, the same ones, nice and old, so nice and budget, will help me a lot with taking better videos. If all goes well, I haven't really had a chance to play with it properly. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll turn on the GoPro like that, and I turn it on. I know where the button is. So I've got a touchscreen on the back, which I shouldn't be touching. Then I gotta sync it, so I go like boom, and then the sound will be synced. And now I gotta turn it on like that. I can move it a little bit up probably, so you can actually see me. And what that does, I can actually talk to you guys and, you know, actually have a bit of eye contact and stuff. Still keep an eye on the road. So you might have already noticed what just happened. Stabilizing footage is one thing, but what it will also do is it will keep things level. Today I'm going to the Macquarie Pass, which has a lot of bends. Now this still looks very bouncy, so I don't know how it's going to cope. But what that means is that if I go from side to side, it should keep things level. So when you do nice and bendy stuff, you get some interesting footage. As you can see, it still bounces a whole heap, so I'm not really convinced yet it's going to cope really well with that. And I can also press the button and then it should, a bit tricky with gloves on, should turn around. So now, view of the front. I haven't cleaned my windshield, so please forgive me, but as you can see, that, you know, keeps it nice and level, so that'll be interesting for a little bit later. So yesterday I had quite a few things to talk about, and I'll try and repeat myself, have a little deja vu and talk about the same things. What's happened since last year? As some of you know, my wife and I had a son who is about 5 months old now, and he's doing really well, and we're doing quite well too. But it's a bit tricky to manage time, so I haven't actually recorded a vlog since last year, and it's May now, and I've run out of footage, which means I actually have to get out on the road and try and take some videos. Now unfortunately that won't be camping for a while, because obviously I don't have a lot of time on my hands because I'm, you know, busy helping out at home. What I might do is try and do a few day trips, and I'd like to do some other things on the channel. Maybe some other things showing around town, showing, you know, nice things around here that I really love about this town, because I moved here probably about 8 years ago. I moved from Holland. It's a very different place than where I grew up from. You might be interested in seeing as well what it's like over here. If you're not from Australia and you're thinking of visiting, potentially you'll also find some tips and tricks on what to see and what to do and what not to do. So I hope you all enjoy that content. And speaking of content, actually this roundabout is interesting, by the way. This roundabout has traffic lights. Do you have that at home? Yeah, so speaking about content, what do you think of my last week's video about why I like to ride? If you haven't seen it, just have a look at the link. There's obviously a lot of reasons why people ride, and I thought I'll just mention a few of them, but I think there's a lot more to cover there, and also, you know, topics around why people ride, but also why some might not ride. Might be something in the future to talk about. So this video is really just a bit of an update on what's going on and how things are. The thing I didn't mention about the gimbal is it's not waterproof, and I just got a few raindrops, so I hope this dark cloud here is not actually gonna piss down on me. It does look a little bit dark, but the rest is all pretty blue, and I'm not sure we are meant to get any rain. If the sound, by the way, doesn't work again, I might have to kill myself. So where am I going today, you might wonder? I'm going up to Macquarie Pass. In front of us, what you're looking at on the GoPro obviously is going to make it look like it's tiny. It's just this mountain range all the way along. We're going to go up it. Some nice little technical bends in it. I'm not technical myself, so I'm not really good at making lines and things like that, but it's still a very nice ride. Do you reckon if I go fast enough, the windshield will keep the gimbal dry? Only one way to find out. Yeah. Also the GoPro on my helmet, it's not waterproof because I've got a microphone hooked into it. And I got no tape or anything, so fingers crossed water won't go too much into it. Might turn it off just in case the water does get into it. So that was a small shower. Things got a little bit wet, not too much, so I'm hoping everything is still working. I just didn't want to miss out on this view here. It looks quite nice with the sun glowing down into the valley. Now what this does mean is that the road is going to be wet, which means I got to be a bit more careful. Something funny too, yesterday my cousin Cameron, he just got a new bike, and he was going to meet me in my place, and about 20 minutes before he realized he didn't have a key to the garage, and yeah, he sort of got stuck. So I told him, well, if you want, we can just, you know, you can come up later. I'll probably be around there for a little while, so I'm gonna get to the top and we can go back down. And then I ran into him when I just got to the top, which was pretty funny because I wasn't expecting him to be there. So it was nice to have a little catch up with him, and nice for him to try out his new bike. Alright, I'll see if I can get this thing working again. GoPro on. Did a good old sync, dunk, and turn on the gimbal. Now sometimes you can feel the vibration, and it's really bad. Alright, you ready? Let's do this. I'll turn it around. Yeah, this is good too. I've got a little display with this one, so I can actually see what I'm filming. Makes it much easier. Alright, let's show you Macquarie Pass. There's some nice little walking tracks around here as well. You can go for a walk and there's like a little waterfall down the end, and I think you can have a little swim in there too. I'm not sure if it's coping. You can always smell people's brakes on this. Okay, so the gimbal is looking very far in advance. I don't think that's exactly what I want. I want it to look forward. I don't really know how to fix that, because this is too much. Maybe it needs to be leaning forward more to be able to do that. I'm not sure. It's probably also just the vibration is just too much. You can tell how much it vibrates. Oh, the smell. Those brakes are being used alright. It seems around this time of the day, so it's during the week after work, it seems busier going down than going up, which is nice to have at least one run clean. Feels like the gimbal is really overcompensating a lot, but maybe we're just really, nah, that's definitely too much. Might have to pull over. Oh, what was that? Looking too much at the gimbal and not at the road surface. I have to see if there's a safe place to stop. That probably would have been a good one, because it's freaking out. I pressed the wrong button. I don't know how this thing works. I've got no idea. I'm always very hesitant with wet roads. Probably having the new front tyre, not the best either. They say you have to take it easy the first 100 k's, because there's like a film on the outside of the tyre to protect it. I'm not sure if that's for cargo or if it's from drying out. I'm not really sure what that's for exactly. What do you guys reckon? Is it working? Kind of. I think the amount of bouncing it does is just not really good. So it's attached to the handlebars, which is probably next time I'll try and attach it to myself somehow, because obviously your body takes a lot of the absorption, so that might work a lot better. Even if I was able to attach it to something else, the tank or the actual bike, it's probably better than the actual handlebars. The gimbal is definitely not really coping with this kind of stuff. I mainly have it for just filming by hand, so not really from the bike itself, but I thought, you know, I should probably give it a go and see what happens. But like anything I've got, everything is budget, so I can't expect too much. So there's two hairpins on this pass. Sometimes buses and trucks, they get stuck because they don't actually know the road too well, and they end up having to do like a 3-point turn, or even worse, they bottom out, or they are just not able to make the turn. And for the locals, it's obviously very frustrating, because that means a lot of delays for them, because there's no other way of getting around, so you're just stuck there. And as we're going up, you can feel the cold. Definitely gets colder the higher we go. I think at the top it's usually 2 to 3 degrees colder than it is down the bottom. So in summer it's actually quite nice, and in winter it gets a little bit cold. So yeah, thanks for the channel. Make a few reviews of products that I've been using for quite a while, and you know, let you know what I think of them. Like the MRAX screen, something like that. And the X-Ram mount is always handy. Those type of things. So reviews is one of them. I might do some interviews and ask other people why they actually ride, and talk about their stories and things like that. I'd actually like to talk to my dad about it. I actually asked him a while ago. I said to him, you know, in a few words, why do you ride? And I said, no, you don't have to make an essay out of it. So he sends me, you know, a full page, if not 2 pages story about why he rides, which was very interesting because actually a lot of it I didn't actually know. So there's a bit of a history of how he started riding and what bikes he's had and things like that. So it's actually quite interesting. For me it is. I don't know if you guys like to hear it or not. Let me know down below. Can you hear the wildlife? Wildlife. Not really wildlife, but birds. How's the crows here? Can you hear that? I think they're crows. Let's get up to the pie shop, the famous Robertson pie shop. I'm actually on a Facebook group called Riding with Skip, and this is for locals around Wollongong. And people can, you know, have a little community and talk about things motorcycle related. A lot of people tend to post when they're going up to pass. You know, you can have a little chat to them. I've been in the group for a while, and I've read and commented on a few things, but I haven't actually met up with any of them as of yet, but I'm sure at some point I will. And they congregate at the Robertson Pie Shop, and there's a table there, and it's called the Table of Infinite Wisdom from memory. Such nice windy road. In the last half year pretty much I haven't really ridden on any windy roads. All I've done is going from work and back, A to B, and that's it. So this is a nice refreshing change. The missus is actually in Canberra at the moment at a conference, and she took the baby with her, so that allows me to actually get out here. But I have to say I do miss him. It's weird to just have quiet at nights, not a baby that, you know, wakes up for a feed. What did I call this? The golden hour, when the sun is nice and low. You want to get nice pictures this time, because you don't have harsh lights and harsh shadows and things like that. I only know the theory of it, I don't actually know how to apply it, so I just film what I see. I don't really have too much thought process into it, but you know, hopefully I'll learn these things a little bit, because it is pretty cool. I love recording. I just don't know what to record, so if you've got any ideas for me, let me know down below. I'd like to hear what you guys like to see. Like, what do you like to see apart from camping? Obviously I can't obviously help out with that, to help out with your camping fix, but I can do little rides and, you know, film certain things that you might want to see. And especially if you're from overseas, there's probably a few things you might be interested in seeing, like that bike for example. What the hell is that? I've actually seen a few of them, but that one is pretty crazy. So here we are. This place gets very busy on the weekends. You know, you could have easily 30 bikes here. Right, bike's still going strong. New tyre to match the back one. So far quite happy with the back tyre. It's not too bad, but we'll see how long it actually lasts for. Only one way to find out. Alright, let's have a look at this footage, see if it's any good, eh? Wow, I think it looks stable. You guys would have already seen this. Could be promising, but the motors did not like it. I can tell you that right now. Thanks for hanging out with me. Also, thank you for all the comments that I've had lately about the baby, but also the last video. So next week I'm not sure yet what's in store. I might do a review of something. Let me know what you would like to see. Obviously the options are endless. It's just a matter of getting the time in. So if you enjoyed this video, give it the thumbs up. So I'm hoping to still put out content, but we'll have to wait and see if I'll be able to do that once a week still, or I might have to drop it back to every 2 weeks. We'll have to wait and see. And also, if you guys are actually interested in still watching this kind of stuff, what do you think of the gimbal? Is it any good? Does it help? Does it keep me more stable? What do you reckon? Do I need a microphone, or does this work enough? Might be okay just like this when it's quiet. We'll have to wait and see. I forgot my Apple. You guys reckon I need a new sticker? Pretty good. And thank you for joining me on my journey.